Live. Hi, Margaret.
Yeah, what happened was that I was calling for you and you hadn't came. So usually when that happened, I go live and then call for my guests at the same time, and it worked.
100%. I was rebooting my router. You may have seen on the Daily Whatever show this morning that I was really like blurry and kind of coming and going. And I think my internet connection just needed the old unplug, plug it back in. And then I wiped down my lens and it's daylight now here in Seattle. So
Hey,
hopefully I'm not like pixelated and blurry like I was during today's show.
no, it was good. It was a very good show, very informative, and I
Thank
didn't know
you.
any to learn about the Safe Act. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my God, I need to go back and start working for the government again. It's too much.
It is way too much. Yeah, what Margaret's referencing is a story Melissa Corrigan and I posted to Blue Amp earlier today. I can go. She let me join the live here, and then I can put the link in. But it is voter suppression that's going to predominantly impact women, and especially women who have married and changed their names. But it's like a hostile um just a hostile interruption, I guess. It's not good. Oh, you know what? I just realized we're live on Gen XC, not on Dana Dubois Rights. I meant to put it on my personal one, but you know what? We'll just do it over here. It's totally fine.
Girl
Let me
power. Okay.
more power. It's a bigger audience on Gen XC than on Dana
Well, of
Dubois
course.
Rights. I wish.
And
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, please.
Oh, I was going to say Substack has this weird way that if you're like me and you have like a couple entities on it, you can only pick one as your primary. So I wish after when you join the live, it would just say join as Dana Dubois Writes, join as Gen XC. But I actually have to go in and change the dominant publication. And I did that. I made a big change actually last week where I shifted my dominant publication from Gen XC and the Daily Whatever show to me, to Dana Dubois Writes. And it's part of this whole project we're going to be talking about today. But since I hosted the live for the Daily Whatever show today, I had to change it and I forgot to change it back. So we are live on Gen XC is the
It's
short
all
version.
good.
It is all good. It's
Okay.
all me. But the I Write Out Loud project is really just me. Obviously it's my memoir home. And so anyways, Margaret, how are you?
I am well. Let me introduce myself just in
Please.
case they don't know me, and then I'll introduce you. Okay.
Fabulous.
I Yes, I help marginalized leaders stop surviving power systems and start leading with freedom, influence, and authority. Okay. And that's where we at today. Okay. And I am so proud to have Dana Dubois here with me, okay? And we're going to be talking today about I Write Out Loud, okay?
Yes.
This is your new project, okay? Dana Dubois is a memorist, a cultural essayist, a publisher whose work explores love, politics, parenting, music, midlife identity through a Gen X feminist lens. Okay,
Yes.
she published the I Write Out Loud on Substack. Okay, a daily space for creative nonfiction. Okay, that sits at the intersection of relationships, power, feminism, aging, staying human in chaotic times. Okay, so
Yes.
you're based in Pacific Northwest.
I am. I'm in
And
Seattle, Washington.
okay. And Dana is known for her candid, funny, and emotional, precise voice that blends family life with broader cultural and political questions. Okay.
Oh my
And
gosh.
all right. And her work appears in more than 20 medium publications and in outlets, including today.com, Business Insider, MSN, uh, Parent Map, Your Tango, um, The Stranger, the
All of it.
Seattle Weekly, and you're
Yep.
also the founder of Pink Hair and Pronouns and
Yes.
Three Imaginary Girls, and
Yes.
mentor other writers teaching language art, storytelling as acts of craft, resistance, and reclamation. I'm sorry. So
You're all
I'm just
good.
honored. I'm honored to have you here today.
Oh my gosh, it is my honor and pleasure to be here, Margaret. I appreciated the invitation, and I'm grateful you followed up a couple times because, whoo, my world is kind of exploding. And I was like, do you ever have things where you're like, I really want to do that? If it's something I can reply to very quickly, it's easy. But if I'm like, oh, I need to like think about it and figure out a time and then squirrel, I'm off to something else. So I appreciate you checking back with me.
Of course, of course. Like minds have to stick together, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I also have to note that, I live in Seattle and we've been in the big dark because it gets dark very early and it gets light very late you're in Alaska. I don't have to tell you how this
Yeah.
time of year is very dark. And I podcast so early at 7 a.m. Pacific time for the Daily Whatever show that playing with my light is a struggle. And I feel like I always look really weird, but it's a really sunny day in Seattle. So I open my windows and I'm just marveling at how light my screen is.
Yeah,
Like,
you're glowing and you're smiling, and I love it because
yes,
when I wake up, I don't know if it's 9 a.m. or 9 p.m. Okay,
right?
exactly.
So true. So true. And I don't know if we want to speak metaphorically, like lighter days are coming every day. It's getting a bit brighter. So
Just like life.
yes, that let's hope. I mean, it's hard to feel that way in these political times, but here we are.
But this shows what we're made of. Okay,
Yes,
these times.
they do.
So that makes us step up to the plate to say, what am I going to do? What part am I going to play today? Okay.
100%. That's
So
that's why we're showing up here all the time, right?
absolutely, absolutely. So let's talk about this wonderful project that you have going on now.
Sure, I would love to. And thank you. You are the first. This is the first place other than my own podcast where I'm talking about it because I'm only on day 4. Um, and I have some notes over here I'm going to reference so that I don't start talking in circles as I'm wont to do. So I have been a memoirist essayist now for almost 3 years, and I started on Medium. I've been on Substack for almost a year. And it's been great. I also, as you mentioned, have had some national publications. In previous years, that was kind of one of my focuses. One of the ways I thought I'd grow as a writer is to get the word out on these publications. But what I've come to realize is a couple of facts became really clear for me. One is Substack is my home as a writer, and I'm not focusing on getting published. It's kind of a slog to try to get published on national publications, and that's not where I want to focus my energy at the moment. Um, and I realized that my writing, though, is in all of these disparate locations, right? It's across all these publications on Medium. It's on these national pubs. Some of it's on Substack. And even when it's on Substack, it was on Gen Xy or it was on Dana Dubois Writes or Blue Amp, kind of all over the place. And I really wanted a home, like an archive, a repository, a like, I'm here and it matters place for my writing. Alongside that was this feeling over the past year, I have written far fewer personal essays in the last year than I did in the 2 years preceding it. And it's because of where we are politically and culturally. It, what I came to find was in questioning myself, I was like, I can't write memoir pieces. I can't write these. It feels so navel gazing to write essay and memoir when the world is on fire. So much of my time online has been on the Daily Whatever show every day, talking to these folks who are moving the political and cultural needle, trying to make the world a better place. Lawrence and I doing some writing alongside that to try to guide this political moment. And it left very little time and energy in my heart for memoir writing and certainly for sharing it online and being like, hey, can I tell you this story about how I feel, about this date I was on or the situation with my kids? It just felt unimportant. And in the new year, I kind of set this intent of, what do you want to do, Dana? Where are you going? And what became really clear for me was it's important to still put our words out in the world and share our stories. It is important to focus on our art. And it came to me as anger initially of all the other things I'm angry about this regime, this administration we're all living under. I'm angry at how many things we can't focus on while we're fighting the chaos of what they're doing, right? And I don't want to spend my days fighting these fights exclusively. I'm still going to do it. Don't get me wrong. And also, I'm not going to shy away from writing down the stories that I write because I think it's my way of putting, I hope, some wisdom and some heart into the world. And I hope it inspires others to do the same because we can't let them take that from us. And so I'm viewing it as like a reclaiming of my creative space. And as I did it, I was like, I want a home on Substack and I want it to be pretty and designed and to kind of look like a book, almost like a periodical. And, um, and I also want to say it out loud, right? The I write out loud in 4 words is trying to convey two things. There's the double meaning of out loud of like, I'm living bravely and I'm sharing these some of them very personal details of my life because I think they have broader cultural lessons, but also I'm literally reading each of my stories out loud as I post them, so that people can listen or read. I know Substack comes with the capability to press that play button. I love that it has that because it's accessible for everyone, but it's an AI voice. And it was important to me as I did this to take that extra step of recording my stories in my voice. And it's funny, I host a podcast with Oceana, I co-host with Oceana Teffenhart and Karen Marie Shelton, that we call Crone Cocktail Hour. And it's like our
Love it.
little witchy evening thing. We've had a couple of them and we've agreed now we're going to do them once a month on the new moon. And they're about setting intent. And those two know a lot more than I do about spells and astrology and all of these things. I love learning from them. And it was in that last session that I was like, I feel like saying the words out loud is important because I almost feel like it's putting a spell out there to be woo about it, of like revisiting my words and stating them out loud in my own voice and with my own form of expression is hopefully powerful for me and for anyone who listens. I hope. That was a lot of words. I talk a lot, but I think that's what the intent here is. It's not a podcast and it's not an audiobook. It's like spoken personal essay. And it takes a lot of time, especially because I have a dog and she tends to bark midway through while I'm recording. But it feels like I finally figured it out. And so it's really important to me. Um, And so I so have appreciated everyone who has read and restacked. And then the final thing I'm doing, at least, so right now I'm moving my archive over and I'm also layering in news stories. Um, I'm trying to do a news story a week, and every weekday, every day, I'm posting a story. And then I'm doing a short podcast.
Um, you're frozen, and I see that your internet connection, it says it's unstable. So we're just going to wait here patiently for you. I'm in no hurry. Um,
and
so,
and
oh, Dana,
then I take questions and I kind of get in conversation.
Dana, Dana.
how
I just
they're bringing their own lived experience to these stories.
I'm sorry, Dana, can you hear me?
And I'll pause now. I've been talking a lot.
No, no, no. I just wanted to let you know that it said your internet connection was unstable. Okay, when she comes back, she'll be good to go. Okay? Okay, she said she know. Okay, no problem. No problem. We good then. You got this. You the pro. Okay?
Am I
Okay.
back?
Yes, you are, and you sound great.
Oh, good. I'm so sorry I cut out there. I don't know where I cut out. I'm really frustrated because I rebooted the router and I just to get back on, I turned off my home. Nope. Okay, I disconnected from my network, so I'm just on like cellular, I guess, on my phone. But I'm like, dude, I pay my like what are they called? CenturyLink a lot of fucking money. Why do they keep going down? That's frustrating. Yeah,
Okay.
it's on um, uh, isn't again.
Um, I'm
Check.
not sure. I'm not sure what you're saying, but we're here with you. Okay, we're here with you. It's all good. If you need to reboot and come back, whatever you need to do, we're here.
You know what? Let me try. If I leave, can you re-invite me? I can't actually don't I'm not gonna
Absolutely.
leave. I'm gonna try joining on my laptop. It's gonna be a
Sure.
really bad camera because I don't have my webcam here. Oh wait, can you hear me now?
I can hear you. You're fuzzy, but we can hear you.
Okay, let me see what happens if I go. Actually, I don't know if I'm going to be able to join here though because the invitation won't pop up, right?
I don't
Um,
know. We will see.
let's see what happens. I don't think I can.
It's better
I
now.
think
It's better now. It's better now. Just continue.
okay. Yeah, maybe it's Substack glitching. I don't think so though, Mason. I think this is my home network glitching. All right. I don't know what everyone got to hear and not hear, but Margaret, I'm going to let you ask me some questions um, in case you missed stuff because I'm sorry
It's
about
all
my
good. It's
bad
all good.
connectivity.
I did want to say something because you talk about
Please.
words. Words have power. Okay. The fact that you've written it and then use your own voice, you're bringing people together. Okay. And in your work.
That is, oh,
Okay. And we all appreciate that because we know how hard that you work and how dedicated and loyal you are, you know, to making a difference in people's
thank you.
lives. And we really appreciate you. We all love you
Oh,
as a
well,
result. We have over
thank you,
66 we
sweet.
have over 66 people here for you. So hey, we're here for you. So we want to hear about this impact that you want to make and how we can be a part of it.
Well, thank you. Can you hear me still?
It's hit and miss.
I am. I am. I'm wondering. Here, let me. I'm going to try going back
Okay,
on
we'll
my
wait
home
here.
network.
We'll wait here. No problem.
And as nice as the light is in here,
You
I
you
might go.
taking
Let's see if this and see if that helps. Okay.
you take
How
you take
how
the you taking the light with
how
you,
are
so
we
you
doing?
good. We're good.
Oh my gosh, it's darker in that part of the house and it's very messy, but let's see it. I'm looking on the screen and it looks like I'm still very pixelated. So let me unplug from here. And if I walk over, hi dog, maybe my dog will come onto the couch with me too. Okay.
Okay.
You're getting a tour of my house. Let me open the windows here, which will probably make my little guard dog bark, but we'll get some light in and we'll see is anything getting better or worse as I'm walking around.
We can hear you better.
Or is it pretty much the same?
We can hear you better.
You can hear me better. Okay, well, I'll take that as a win.
Yes, it
I will take
is.
that as a win. I will not be able to share links in the chat at all, but that's okay. Oh, I even have a little podcast stand right here. Come on.
Hey.
Now we have my little dog here. Can you see Kira?
Yes, yes.
This is the little one who makes all the noise. Who's like, "Oh, are we sitting on the couch now, Mom? That's fantastic." Wait, I can't put it in the holder because it'll be like a shot of my boobs. It's too low on the arm of
Okay.
the
And you don't
couch.
want that?
I'll just hold my phone. Yeah, that save that for, that would be the OnlyFans page that I don't have. She wants
Not
belly
yet.
rubs.
Okay, I'm
Okay,
just
so
joking.
yeah, oh God. Yeah, I don't think that's ever gonna happen. I don't think that's my vibe. Too old, not hot enough, not wanting to put my naked body on the internet. Um, I'll crack boob jokes all day long. Um,
Okay.
so I think you had asked me, I believe, about the impact I'm hoping to make. Was that what the last question was before the internet cut out?
Yeah, I was talking to you about the words. Words, our words have power. If they didn't, then
Yes.
we wouldn't be writing. We wouldn't be doing these podcasts and having these conversations. We know that. And look how many
Yes.
people you've brought together as a result of your work, as a result of
Thank
your
you.
generosity, your genuineness. You have built this community. You and Lawrence,
Thank you.
and where you can be in this position to do the work you're doing today, right?
Yeah. It it is an immense thrill. I mean, truly, it is a thrill to do the Daily Whatever show every day. It's a thrill, like, I don't know of a like, it is one of the biggest thrills of my life to, like, finish an essay and publish it and to be like, "I got it the way I wanted it to sound," and, like, d just, like, the sheer pleasure, because it's kind of an agony to write like that. It's a lot to sort through my essays, and the creative process of bringing to life, what I'm trying to say in them can be very arduous because I'm typically weaving together, like, all of the bizarre strands in my chaotic brain and trying to come up with a narrative arc that is knowable, relatable, and, hopefully contains some wisdom. And so when I feel like I've hit that bar and put it out there, it is a thrill to have other people read it, comment on it, subscribe to it. Like, I can't describe the thrill. I was saying to a friend the other day, I got like a do you have one of those Ko-fi, I think it's actually pronounced just coffee, but the KO-FI, buy me a coffee, like, tip jars? I have one of
Yes.
those, most of us do, and I was trying to explain to him, like, there is no better earned money than somebody being like, "What you wrote moved me. Here's $5." Like, it's not about the money, but the fact that someone, um like, was so moved that they took the extra effort to do that or to subscribe is, like, it's, crazy exciting that I'm like, "This money means more to me than my entire corporate paycheck, this $5 tip." Like, it's not, it's not buying the dog food. We have to be practical, but also, like, when I at the end of my life, am on my deathbed and looking back at, like, who I was and what I did, like, I will be proud that I sustained my home and a big corporate job and did the things I needed to do to keep myself and my daughters afloat. But the work that I will look back on and feel good about, this is it. So those are words being used to move my world. I hope by sharing them, it's setting an example to other creatives out there of, like, this is the shit you need to do. And it's important even in difficult times. And then the essays themselves, they of course come from my perspective, which is a, you know, Gen X word nerd woman who is a mom, a single mom with a great ex husband slash parenting partner, but um, moving through the world as a single woman, looking for love and partnership, working in a corporate space, also being a creative, um, dealing with the loss of power and rights that we see women going through now, dealing with the fears of raising young women who are facing into this world. The writing kind of touches on all of these things. Oh, and also music. I mean, I founded a music website years ago. That's always been a deep love. And so sometimes the essays integrate all of these. Sometimes they're sort of lighthearted, sometimes they're grave and serious. But um, I have put 4 of them out so far. The first one on Monday was a brand new one. The other 3 have been from the archives. As I said, I'm going to try to do one new one per week. Should I
I'm
talk
sorry.
about
I'm
those?
sorry.
Should I? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yes. Yes, please. Can you talk about that first one? Because you, when you look at it, you can take it in a number of places.
Thank you. It's man, I wish I were at my computer so I could share the links in the chat. But it's at danaduboiswrites.substack.com. That's my landing page. And I have culled the landing page so that it's only showing these essays, these I write out loud essays, since that's what it's going to be the home for. The first essay is called The Men Who Open Me.
Okay.
And it is probably the favorite title of any essay I've ever written. Like, I'm obsessed with the title.
Me too.
And I'm so embarrassed that ChatGPT wrote the title. And I was like, "Fuck, are you becoming sentient? Because that's a really good title."
It
Um,
was. Everybody opened that.
uh,
Okay.
it, so it is a play on words at a few levels, and it's a story that I brought to life by my standards really quickly. It can take me months from like thinking of an idea to finally sitting down and, excuse me, writing it. But last week, I was acknowledging something to myself that I wasn't necessarily proud of, which is um, on Substack, if you are a creator, you get analytics, of course. We all do. We can see who subscribes, who pays to subscribe, how many people are looking at each story. Yes. But if you click into your subscribers, you can search on them by name or email address. And what I realized was that there were a few men, past and present, who I was kind of analytic stalking. They don't get visibility to this, but I can look and I can see what they opened, either what they received, what they opened, what they looked at. Post scene is what that's called. On what days, and if it's the same day, at what time. And it was kind of a maybe a dangerous amount of information to know. And the thought occurred to me that I was like, is this healthy or not healthy to be looking, Dana? Um, you have moved on. You're not in contact. Do you want to still know this information? And the answer was a resounding yes. And then I was like, why? Why is it important to know? And as I considered that, I was like, there are a lot of women creators out there who maybe, or men who are going through the same thing. Um, but also, there's kind of this meta story that I think isn't just about me, but it's relatable to others, whether they're
It
creators or
is.
not. Of we all, what if we are single and dating, we are likely meeting the people we're dating online through dating apps and whatnot, and then we're likely connecting with them online, whether it's through just text messaging or Instagram or Facebook or whatever it is. Like, we are, in addition to opening up our lives in real life to these men, for me, um, also opening ourselves up digitally as we get to know them. And in my case, I tell them I'm a writer, I'm a podcaster, and they are reading and watching my work. And when the relationships, and I'm using that word lightly in some of these cases, when they've ended, the digital relationship has gone on. And so there becomes this question of, do we allow that? Do we block them on, all of us go through this of like, oh man, do I delete this text thread? Do I block them? Do I just ignore them? Do I unfriend them or unfollow them? There's kind of these machinations we all go through. And for me, it's at another level because I can see that they're, in the case of these men, I could see they were keeping up with me even after they were no longer in contact with me. And in the case of the two main ones I'm thinking of, I didn't want them to end, even though I wanted them to end. You know what I mean? It,
I understand. I
yeah,
understand you.
it wasn't
Okay.
like I was over them. It was like this is this is not the person I think they are. This is not a healthy relationship. Um, but in what became really clear as I was what became clear very quickly, which was the shocking part to me, it usually takes a while, was I'm giving them a manual on how to date me by living online, by writing out loud, right? These men
Yes.
show up for my podcast, they read my work. Some of it is explicitly about dating and relationships. And the clear theme, at least it's clear to me, I hope it's clear to others, is if you want my heart, you have to show up.
Oh,
I need you to show up and I need you to communicate. Like top of the list of everything. So they had the manual, and in both cases, but in one in particular, that was the demise of the relationship. This was a person who showed up for me digitally. Like they came to my podcast a whole lot, but they didn't show up for me at the minimum bar I needed, which was like, I need to hear from you every day. I know we both have busy lives. He had a lot of obligations and kind of hard family shit to deal with. But I was like, I came to realize in writing this of like, we had a parasocial relationship, or he had a parasocial relationship with me. And so he was like, I see you every day. I get to log in. I see what you're wearing. I hear your voice. I know what's on your mind. And I could see him show up in the comments, in the audience. And it was great. It meant so much to me to see him there and that he showed up for me. But I came to realize over time, oh, he thinks we've communicated because he's heard me and seen me, but I am not getting that back. And then as another layer on that, um, he's being acknowledged by my virtual community as my person. They all knew that that was the guy I was dating. I never met any of his people. I still to this day don't know if anyone in his life knew I existed. And this wasn't a crazy long-term relationship, but it was like it was a multi-month relationship. It was long enough that there should have been friends to meet. We should, probably early to meet families still, but especially kids, but like there was no acknowledgement on the other side. And so here was this man who I was explicit repeatedly one on one and also in my stories of like, you need to show up. And to me, showing up means a text or a call every day. I need to know I matter and that I'm part of your world because you have entered mine. And he couldn't meet that bar. And so I ended it. And yet, here he is showing up every day to still consume me and my content all these months later. And so the men who open me has so many meetings because it's these men, especially this one man, but other men who are opening me virtually. They're opening my emails. And these are men who literally opened me, if you want to get kind of racy about it. But also like I opened my heart to them at some level. And they walked away from all of those real things, but they are continuing to open me digitally, right? That's what this
I,
story is about.
I can identify, and a lot of men and women can identify too. And that's why your story is so powerful.
Thank you. If anyone has the link to it in the chat and wants to share it, I don't know if someone's done that already. I would put it in there. I'm really proud of this story. Um, the one, I don't want to say it's a bummer, but the one hard thing about starting this I Write Out Loud project is Gen XC and the Daily Whatever Show have a following, right? We've been going live like every day for 9 months now, I think. Wait, February, March, April, almost 10 months. And Dana Dubois writes has just been sort of sitting in the corner. So I have a very small subscriber base and it's not very engaged because until this week, I haven't been talking to that channel. And so only a few hundred people have seen this story. I would really love for more people to see it and be aware of the project. So if you go and you comment on that story or the other ones I'm posting, especially if you restack or subscribe, that signals to Substack like, oh, people are enjoying this. So I would love your support if this story or the others move you.
I got you. I'm going to make sure to put those links in the article when I post it. Okay,
Thank you.
everything.
You're
I
the
got
best.
you. I got you.
You're the best. It's that one was a really what was so interesting was like once I came up with the idea and I was like, does this have legs? Is this something people will find relatable? And I was like, yeah, I think it would be like kind of flew out and it was live within a few days. Medium declined to boost it because Medium is such a prude. Anything about with a title like The Men Who Opened Me is not going to get boosted, which is unfortunate because um, that is a way for writers like me to start generating income on writing. But I think the story's made like $1 and change on Medium. You know, the life of a,
That's
of a writer.
that's why we have this wonderful community in Substack where we support each other by restacking each other's posts and
Yes.
liking the posts. That helps to elevate not just you, but everybody involved. Okay?
Thank you, Margaret. And I should say, Margaret, you showed up for my first live about the story we were just talking about, The Men I Write Out Loud, and you became a paid subscriber to Dana Dubois Writes and the I Write Out Loud project. And I'm so grateful for you and for doing that. I've had a handful of people. I have a goal of getting 88 paid subscribers because eight's my favorite number. And when I hit 88 stories up on the I Write Out Loud project, I will consider it a fully launched project. I will continue to add to it. I think I have about 120 stories to move over and new stories all the time. But when I hit 88, I'm going to be like, I've done it. It's $88 to be a founding member. So I publish at 808. So,
Hey,
you know, it's all eights all the time. I don't know why I like them so much, but I do. Um, so yeah, that story was really satisfying. And of course, I'm stalking the men in question to see if they are looking, if they've opened. And I'm going to disclose that answer on Sunday because I've decided to do something I've never done before, and I'm going to offer one. Right now, it'll be one live a week for paying subscribers to Dana Dubois Writes and the I Write Out Loud project, where I'm going to do the real behind the scenes. So I'm going to do the like, what happened this week with my I write out loud men, the ones who are opening me. I do have an update. Yeah.
we can't wait to hear. Okay.
Show up Sunday, man. I haven't decided what time on Sunday yet, but probably early afternoon my time, so like mid to late afternoon East Coast time. Yeah.
Well, I want to see if anybody have any questions.
Yeah.
Neuro says I agree with text now. Yes, there was a time before text, LOL. I can't that is easy to do. I asked my husband if I haven't heard from him in a few hours to text.
Yeah. Like show up. I mean,
We shouldn't have to even say that. If you got to ask for you to show up, then for me, at my age, I just have to cut you off. All right, I'm sorry. But
that's the
I
block to burn, baby. That would be the smarter way. My heart is a fool, and once I'm like in it, I'm like, yeah, I will give a lot of chances because I know not everyone is like me. And what's interesting being Gen X and dating is that like this guy in particular was like, that's not how I text. Because for some people like me, I'm now like text native, like that's my primary way of keeping in touch with most people in my life. And he was just like, well, I'm more like a functional texter. And I'm like, that's cool. You also can't call me because you have your kids so frequently. And I need to hear from you. You're courting me, sir. We are in the early months. We are establishing trust. And this is how it's done by consistent, touching base. I think Lynette said that, the touching base. Like, and also, like, don't you want to know me? Like, I don't want to brag, but you've kind of got a world-class writer here at your fingertips who can entertain you at, like, I want to hear your thoughts on my day and my thoughts on your day. That's part of establishing a friendship, let alone a relationship. Like, minimum bar, fellas. You should want to get to know me if you want to get in my pants. That's just the way, or my heart. That's just the way it goes, right?
I think that he sounds like an avoidant to me. I'm just going to tell you how I see it.
Margaret! That's the article that's next.
Whoa.
Tips on dating the avoidant man. I'm having a very hard time writing it, but so avoidant. So avoidant. Yes. So avoidant. And he blamed it on me and said that I was anxious
Yes, that's
attached.
what they do. Flip the
He
script.
said, "You're anxious attached." And I was like, I'm anxious because I like you and you're not meeting the bar for communication. That does not mean it's my attachment style. I am secure attached. And if you don't give me a sense of security, I will leave and I don't want to leave. And he didn't
That
give me a sense of
sounds,
security. So I left.
sounds, he is a narcissist. I'm sorry.
Maybe. I
I
think
have
he has
had,
too low self esteem to be a narcissist, but maybe. I don't know.
well,
Tell me about your
what,
experience. This sounds like it's coming from
okay.
deep experience, Margaret. Give
Yes,
me what you
yes.
got.
Everybody that I've been in a relationship was a narcissist, starting with my father. Okay.
Oh, my dad, 100%.
Okay. So what it is we have these wounds that they see that's visible. Okay.
Yeah.
We're very empathetic. We're very kind. We're very
Yes.
forgiving. We're very forgiving. And these are the things that the narcissists prey on. Okay. They will breadcrumb you. Okay. And keep moving the sticks. Well, when you're playing football, you got to move the sticks. They keep
Oh,
moving
yeah.
the sticks, and you can never get it. You know what I'm saying?
I do. I
So
all too well, to quote Taylor Swift, the goddess uh confessional writing. I worked
right,
it into this essay because there is another man who is layered into the conversation who is an example of a better form of opening. And he's the only one I
okay.
name, and he's the only one who's present tense. So, and his concern is when we met was like, I don't know if I should date a writer because I'm worried you're going to write about me. And so I was like, yes,
Mm,
I'm basically the Gen X Taylor Swift. Uh,
that's sound like a red flag. Okay,
uh, no, it wasn't. It was more he's
good.
a private person, and what I say in the, I mean,
Okay.
the future is out on this one. I haven't known him that long, but what's been such an interesting contrast is that, and I write this in the essay, is he doesn't feel like someone who wants to consume me. It's very interactional. He wants to know me as much as I would like to know him. He's showing up, and
That's
that
good.
it's
That's good.
clarifying. Yeah, and whether he comes to be in a big meaningful way or not, it's this lesson of it's not someone who's just being like, well, I don't want you to write about me if I'm an asshole. You know, it's more like, oh, I love Basil in your writing. Yes, that is his chosen name. It was Basil, and I did let Basil review the story before I published it, and I said, "Is this okay with you if I write it?" Um, and it comes back to the broader concept of, like, as a memoirist, how do you write about people you know?
Ooh.
I've been asked this a lot. And to me, if you have left my life, either because I have thrown you out or because you have exited my life, they are my stories and you get no say in how I choose to share them because you are not part of my life. If you are someone I know and continue to know, if it's something like I mentioned my friends, I mention Lawrence a lot because he gives me a lot of advice. So I'll mention him in my writing and I'll usually be like, am I capturing this right? Are you okay with how this is written? My friend Sunny also, she is frequently the wisdom giver, and so I credit her and I tag her because she's on Substack and Medium to follow my writing because she's a supportive friend. So I think her profile says, "I'm just here to follow Dana Dubois." But I'll ask her before I put her in a story. So, um, I guess the trick is, yeah, if you don't want to not have a say in how I represent you, then don't exit my life. But I do think it's important to hold on to, like, our stories are ours, even if they involve other people.
I really wondered about that because, say, for example, I have a very dysfunctional family, and I start talking all these things about them. Can they come back and sue me or someone else? You know what I'm saying? Because it's almost like their
Yes.
word against mine, and is it considered libel? So I have to ask these questions while we're writing before we really post this stuff. We
Yeah,
really should think about these things.
absolutely. And I'm not a lawyer. So ask a lawyer for, anything that's like really concerning about libel. But my understanding and kind of the code I follow is if someone is not identifiable, i- it's not libel. So I always change. If you're saying my father, then I suppose it's trickier because someone could maybe Google and figure out who your father is. But even then, I don't know. If he's not a famous person, I don't know that it's libel or slander or anything like that. You would have to ask a lawyer to define for sure, but I always change names, and, I don't believe there's oh, well, with the exception of, I should post that one soon. A story I wrote about, a local musician, Lothario, who was, um, credibly accused of sexually assaulting many, many women, including many I know here in Seattle. I wrote about him by name, because I was quoting things that are reported by NPR. And so I felt okay about that. But even then, I consulted a lawyer friend because he kind of came after me for publishing it. So, um,
See, that's yeah.
but, and it's Ken Stringfellow accused, not nothing has gone to court, but I believe women, and I mean, I know him, so I have no. Anyways, we won't get into that here. I haven't shared that story on Substack yet, only on Medium, but maybe I'll move that one over soon because that would be a fun one to get into. You got to call out your local rapists, friends. Accused, not credibly accused. It's me. That's me putting the legal caveat on there. Um, but yeah, it is always a challenge, and I write about my dad a lot, and I can't ask for his consent because he has dementia. So he doesn't know. So I feel like it's fine. That's that's my point of view on that one. Um, in fact, the second essay in I Write Out Loud is about my dad. It's called My Dad Dementia and the Things. Oh my God. And the things, oh my God, I'm forgetting the full title, but it's about like the things we remember or we want to be remembered by. That's not exactly it. I'm spacing on my own title right now. If someone has it in front of them, they could put it in the chat. But I've written about my dad a lot, and that's probably my favorite essay about him. It's from about a year ago after I went to visit him last midwinter break. I'm flying to Florida this February with my kids, so I'll visit him again, and hopefully I'll have another story after I see him. I
Well,
am
I
really.
really
Oh,
go
sorry, go
ahead.
ahead. I was gonna say, I'm really enjoying the light next to this window with the green wall behind me. I'm sorry I'm probably making people dizzy because 'cause I'm holding the phone in my hand, but, um, it's fun to podcast from my sofa instead of the desk.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
there it is. This has been an amazing, amazing conversation, and and you and I have a lot of parallels in our lives. And I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, I've been chomping at the bit to have a conversation with you.
Oh
Okay,
my god. Yes. Oh,
and
someone put Carly Simon, "You're so vain" in the chat. I think that's Neuro.
oh,
Um,
I love that. That was one of my favorite songs. Okay,
I love that song. So I've always assumed that she's never revealed who the guy is, and I've always assumed it's a composite of the men she's dated. like she's taking
Okay.
bits of each of them because it's such good memoir writing. It's so lush. Like she's describing these very specific things, right? You flew your Learjet to Nova Scotia to see the total eclipse of the sun. Like that's one person who knows who he is. And that your scarf, it was apricot. Like she's calling out this very specific item of clothing. The You're probably with you're either with some underworld spy or the wife of a close friend. That's a very specific thing she's calling out, but I don't know if it's all the same man. But my favorite thing about that song is, do you know who the backup vocalist is doing the "You're So Vain" in the background? It's
No.
it's Mick Jagger. And if you listen to it now, you're gonna be like, "Oh, of course that's Mick Jagger's voice." And he's one of her ex-lovers. So he's presumably part of the composite, and yet she got him to do the vocals on this song. Like she's a baddie.
She's calling them out in that song, and ain't nothing they can say.
I
She didn't
think
use no names.
but she didn't use any names, so she can't get sued. I,
There it
I,
is.
I do believe that's what's going on. Um, do you have a guy in your life right now, Margaret? Or I shouldn't say a guy. Do
Oh,
you have a partner in your life?
well, I was going through some things like we were talking about
Yeah.
the letter, okay?
Yeah.
And you was talking about the stalking and all of these things. I've been through all that, been there, done that,
Oh
and
no.
knowing that the person is no good. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
we have to process the grief. We are grieving from a loss of relationship. Let's call it
Yeah.
like it is. Okay,
Yes.
you go through the anger phase, then you go through this phase. Eventually, it just fizzles out. You know, you
Yeah.
just have to let it process and just move on. You can't move on until you get over this one because that'd be like a rebound, and rebounds are
Right.
not good, not unless you're just doing it for whatever. You know what I'm saying?
I
But
do. No, you have to give the heart is a bad timekeeper. So,
yeah,
sometimes you might be ready to jump right in, and other times it might just take a lot of time. So take it. Take what you need
give
from it.
yourself some grace. Give yourself some grace. Give yourself time to
Yes.
heal.
Yes.
Okay, and
Very well
and
said.
yeah, because I realized I had still my mother wound and my father wound. Okay,
Oh,
both
yeah,
both wounds and being ostracized from my family. So I'm dealing with a lot of things, and it made me realize that I'm just not ready for no relationship with anybody right now, if if ever. So that's where I'm at. Because if I can't trust myself, I can't trust nobody else. Okay,
for sure.
and that's where I'm at right now.
The greatest love of all, Margaret. You know,
Yes, absolutely. Because if we don't love ourselves, nobody else gonna do it, and we know that.
we maybe have to break into song. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well.
Okay,
And yeah, I'm going full Whitney on us with the greatest love of all. Oh, and I saw
okay.
it just passed by so quickly, but it's My Dad Dementia and the Things We Don't Forget. Thank you for putting the title. And I love that title. I wrote that one. I can't believe I forgot it. But yeah, so there's that story about my dad with Alzheimer's. That was number 2. Number 3 was yesterday, and that was a story called I Took the Shot. And it's about, the literal shot is about GLP-1s, weight loss drugs. But the story is more speaking of family trauma, family of origin stories around body image and weight and the kind of duality I inherited from my very restrictive, fat phobic mother and my very obese, indulgent father, and how the net out of both of them was
Mm.
fat bad. For women, fat bad. Being a woman and being fat was the ultimate, like anathema. So processing and coming up with my own views on how I view body, health, beauty, and doing it in the context also of wanting a partner and what it means to be a woman in my 50s trying to find one. So that's all kind of looped together in that story from yesterday. And then today's that I'll be talking about in a few hours is it's a long title. I believe I spent 18 years getting her ready. I forgot to prepare myself. And it's about my now 18-year-old daughter. I wrote the story the night she turned 18. Um, like at that the end of the day after she went back to we went out for a big family dinner. It was her dad's night, so she went back to her dad's house afterwards. And then I wrote this essay about what it's like to help my child take flight and get ready for college and to do all these things, and how proud I am of her, but that it's been such a whirlwind and so much effort. And I've been so busy preparing her for how to do it that I have not prepared myself at all yet for how sad I'm going to be when she takes flight and leaves. So um, that one was kind of a tearjerker to write, and we'll see how emotional I get as in talking about it today. But it's a very odd mix of like pride and joy and knowing she's ready, and also being like, how strange it's going to be when this creature who has lived in my home for 18 years is not only not going to live in my home, but likely will not live in the same, certainly city as me, and possibly not even same state as I do anymore. Maybe forever, you know, you never know what her path will be. And I never wanted to be one of those moms who's like, you can't leave, stay here in Seattle. She needs to take flight. But there's grief, a lot of grief that I know I'll be feeling. So come September, if all of my stories are like, that's why. It was my baby
You,
flu.
yeah, right. And there's other people out on Substack we're going to be experiencing the same thing, and just
Ah,
come together with those people and embrace the change, because
yes,
this is what you raised her for. You raised her, and you
exactly.
you, you brought her up to be, maybe she'll be the next president of the United States, or down the
Right.
line something powerful person in the world. So you've done your job, and you
Thank
should
you.
feel good. You should feel
I
good
do.
about what you've done. How many people don't have the skill set or whatever to even go to college, to be able to have the money to go to college nowadays? I don't even know if you can even
Yeah.
get a student loan or whatever. So that's a
Yeah.
blessing in itself. That's a celebration.
It's 100% a celebration, and she's a really talented artist. So okay, so this is always me as telling stories. How much backstory? So I've actually written two versions of this story. The first one is the one that's up today. Tomorrow, I'm going to post a second version, and it's this about half the content is identical, give or take. But the second version of the story layers in politics to the narrative. So the first one is just about the emotions of how I feel and how I think her sister will process the loss of her, you know, her older sister leaving. The second version is about the grief, but also about the fear of putting my daughter out into a world that is increasingly falling apart politically. And where is it safe to send her? And what it's like as a mom, it's always hard to let go because you worry, but this is a very real worry that's like magnified. And so it was a super interesting exercise to convert. And like I wrote the original story, I posted it to Medium. And then I was like, I think there's a Blue Amp story in here. There's a political version of it for the culture section there that how I'm helping them launch. And so I did a second version of the story, and I'm going to post them one right after the other to the I Write Out Loud project. So that'll be tomorrow's post. And the image I used when I first posted the story to Medium is one of my daughter's drawings, and it's vertically composed and it's really beautiful. And the top half is sort of these two women in these powerful poses, and the bottom has this monkey with the pearls that it's stolen from one of the women, and all of this design work. So in the two essays, I'm posting the top half of the story is with today's essay, and the bottom half will be with tomorrow's, to show that they're united, and to show off some of her art because it's really beautiful. She's actually getting like some pretty decent scholarships to art schools, which I didn't know that those existed. So we'll see if that's what she ends up doing. Oh, I see someone's
That's
written my
great.
name in the comments here. Just a warning, I got wait, what does this say here?
At the bottom?
An identity crisis. Glad you're thinking about it now, Data. It scrolled by too quickly, so I can't
Oh,
read it. Yeah, but it's something about being careful. I think about the identity crisis that can come when your child leaves. I'm guessing is what, and
yes.
it was world changing for me. Right, I
Hmm.
have been the art mom, the mom of two artist girls, well, for a while, I was the mom of one girl and one non-binary person. She's now identifying as she, her. But in any event, my two children have been a very big part of my identity now for a very long time. They still will be, but yeah, she won't be at home. Good thing I have this podcasting habit and writing habit to keep me busy through my grief.
Yes. Yes, because now
Yes.
your identity is changing again, you know. But
Yeah.
that's life. We go through phases of life. We continue
Yes.
to evolve and become the person that we were meant to be.
That's the hope. Always continuing to become, right? I'm 55 and still
Yes,
becoming, still becoming.
that's great. As long as we continue to wake up and see a new day, that's a
Then
blessing.
it is absolutely a blessing. And yeah, today has been a good day to wake up and greet. This is some days you're just like, this is a day worth living, man. I got good shit going on.
Absolutely. And don't you forget it.
Right?
Okay?
I also I'm loving podcasting from right here on my couch so much that I'm like, I think it's because it's light out, honestly. It may not just be that I like the light of, because it's midday. It won't help for the daily whatever show, but I'm like, maybe I'm going to try putting a desk right in front of where I'm sitting,
Okay.
broadcasting with the green wall behind me. Okay, we'll see.
I love
I,
that. I love that hunter green.
I do. I don't know if you can see the full wall here, but
Yeah.
I love it too. I like vivid color on walls. I don't have a single white wall in my house. My
Okay.
bedroom is dark red. The basement, as some of you've seen on some of my podcasts, is very, very dark purple and almost looks black, which looks terrible on screen when I podcast, especially because it's in my basement, so there's no light. I need to Google how to light up a podcast studio because the ring light, the little light on the desk just gives really weird glare off my glasses and looks bad. Nothing looks like natural light. And natural light is not an option in Seattle at 7 a.m. for a good chunk of the year. So I think I need to go do some research. If anyone out there's a lighting expert, hit me up. It's
Okay.
a problem.
Dana, this has been an amazing conversation. I want to thank you so much.
Oh my
I
gosh,
will,
thank you so much for having me.
of course, I will make sure to put all your links and everything in there. I got you. And we'll be in touch.
Oh my
And I
gosh.
want to, I'm
You go
sorry.
ahead. I just wanted to say thank you. This has been such a pleasure. And thanks to everybody look how many people are here, Margaret. We got a big crowd.
Yeah, 163 people.
Hell yeah. To talk about literature midday. That makes me so happy.
Absolutely.
That makes me so
Yeah.
happy. Thank you.
Thank you all so much. See you later. All right. Bye bye.
Bye. Thanks, Margaret.
Thank you so much. All right. Bye bye.